See, what I was about to do was try to implement a storyline and a subject matter to discuss. You know, get the viewer's opinion, that being you all, and get different types of, conversation going, increase and enhance the content. But that would have been bullshit right now because it's not content in storyline. It's real life shit. I had a situation that's going on in my own real life, and the best way to do it is to talk about that real shit because I don't feel like mixing words right now. When you care about somebody and you're in a relationship with somebody, trust me, you're going to have a lot of nothing fights from random conversation. There will be things that you could typically let roll off your back that because they're coming from somebody you care about, you can't. You just can't let that shit go. I cannot believe and I cannot feel that I'm with somebody stupid enough to believe what you just said and think what you just said you think. No way, can't do it. That other person knows that your brain is almost coming to a screeching halt with some of the shit they're saying, but they're saying it because they're already pissed off too. So you got two pissed off people, and one's trying to look for reasoning and rationale, and the other one's like, poking you. What am I gonna do next to get him to have a stroke right here in front of me, right in front of the Lord? And I'm telling you, that's some frustrating crap. That's some frustrating crap, man. Point blank, plain and simple. The reality is that I will do damn near anything. Anything. If I think it makes my wife happy, pleased, satisfied, if she's happy, pleased, and or satisfied, I'm all for it. That's my job. That's what I have to do today. On top of go to work, breathe, and give and pray. You know what I'm saying? But today, we're dealing with a revolt. By tradition and by birth, she is a rebel without a cause. And when she wants to have an attitude about something, it's 9 times out of 10 it's going to be about nothing. It's not going to be purposeful. It's not going to be meaningful. It's not fighting for the cause of the rights of women, blacks. Nothing. It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. As what I'm saying now is. As far as what she's talking about. I wouldn't come publicly and say no soft ass, weak ass, punk ass, pussy ass, shit ass, about my dedication or my willing to do whatever my wife wants. If it was just some random bullshit relationship. But this is my wife, man. This is where it all comes from. This is where the gravy gets thick at. This is where the goods come from. This is where the longevity and the necessity come from. This is where life is birthed from. This is everything. So hell yeah, if I expect everything out of it, I got to put everything in it, which I think and believe that I do. And I think now she's just at the point where she knows I'm good at my job to the point where if she decides to put up a strike and just say, okay, well, I don't want to do it in return, but I appreciate that you do it. Sooner or later, that shit backfires on her. It does. I say backfires on her because when I am saying something to her that I want her to do, I expect her to remember and reciprocate. I want her to remember the fact that she's catered to in every way, shape, fashion, or form, and reciprocate those actions, if I ask something of her. Anytime. But it's going to be few and far between because I don't want her to be inconvenienced. I don't want her to be uncomfortable. I don't want her to feel put out. So it's rare that I, say, babe, I want you to, or make sure you blah, 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 blah. Her, she don't give a shit. Babe, give me something off the shelf. Oh, babe, hand me that thing right beside you. Oh, babe, go down to the store. Oh, babe, travel to Belize and bring me back an onion. Anything. That's what babe want. That's my babe. I'm going to get it. I'm on my way already. I'm out the door already. I got the money in my pocket. I'm on my way to go get whatever it is she said she wants, needs, or likes. That's it. And it's unfair because I preach and teach that no, you shouldn't do anything that you expect to get anything back except a receipt for. But when it comes to love, it's like, shit, if I can get it from anybody, I know I can get it from Bae. Because Bae gets the best in everything of me. So yeah, if anybody, I'm going to ask it for Bae. Because Bae can't go nowhere and ask no other man for shit. So well, damn it, guess what? Neither do I. If I want something, I come to Bae with that shit. You did. So that is the reason that I, had such an attitude and an issue, and I felt voicing it was the best way. Maybe somebody else can relate and be like, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I do everything for my man, and then I ask him to do one thing, and he, pitch a fit, strike a pose, and light a match. Well, damn it, that son of a bitch is temperamental. I get temperamental too when I ask something of my wife, because it's like, shit, are you serious? 85% of your existence is from something I woke up and did or went to sleep and did before. And did before I went to sleep. 85% of your life is something I did when I woke up or something I remember to do before I went to bed. And I don't have a problem with that. But if she get her head up her ass enough to think, well, don't do it then. Don't do it then. She don't mean that shit. If my wife says to me, oh, well, you do this, and you do this, and you do this, and this, and that, and everything else for me, well, then don't do it then. That bitch, she don't mean that. She's a fucking liar. She's a liar. She's a fucking liar. She don't mean that shit. Because in gesturing, in the comedic sense, in saying something that's funny or in being funny, anytime anything happens to where she catches herself asking me for the most random small thing that she could do herself, she'll be like, I know. You got me like this. I'm spoiled like that. I remember that shit because I need her to remember that shit when time comes for her to back up. To back up that whole, well, then don't do it then. Okay, remember that shit now. Remember that. You can't even walk around with your shoestrings untied. You can't. Hey. When she gets mad like that and she's like, well, don't do nothing for me then, and just stop doing it then, since you got to do everything. Be careful what you're asking. Because you're asking to change, you're asking for your life to be changed. Your life will be altered if you say that and attempt to try to live like you mean it, because you don't really mean that. Oh, I could not do it. I could simply just stop doing anything you ever asked me to do and be like, nah, I better not. Because you don't want me to do stuff for you anyway, so I better not. That's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get the lip smack and the sound of an exhaust pipe. Whatever. Because she's thinking this is going to somehow or another backfire on me when I want sex. Look, ladies, if you ever get your man to the point where he starts to realize he ain't getting none, guess what? You're in the same population of every other woman in the world. Ain't none of y'all giving him none. Well, shit, then I don't need none of you. All you is useless. I don't need from one woman what I can't get from the rest. Well, then all of you. I can't have sex with anybody. Nobody wants to have sex with me. Well, then guess what? I'm done looking. I don't have to look far for a woman to sleep with that I can't have sex with and do it, because they all fall in that category. But then I'm alone. I'm chilling. I am without. I'm without. Or I'm out cheating, and okay, who wants to talk? Nobody wants to talk about that. That's not even a possibility now, is it? Or is it? Or is it? Also a chance you're taking when you give up the goods and give up on, your responsibility. So, I knew I'd feel better just voicing it. Now that I have, I do. Let's give it a whirl. I'm outside now. Maybe I'll go back in and give her a chance at redeeming herself. If not, fuck it.